Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, y'all. Another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX. And as you can see, y'all, we've been trading in this zone here of, let's say, support at 1264. 1266 we have support, and around the 1272 we have resistance. And as you can see, y'all, price is just trading in this zone, in this area. We are above the 5 EMA. Just know that we are going to have trouble here at the 20, the 50, and the 200 EMA. So if the VIX breaks above 1279, that could mean trouble for the SPY to the down, to the upside, because when the VIX goes up, the SPY goes down. Let's say that, right? I hope I said that right. So the VIX is an inside day candle also, so keep in mind we could very well, if it breaks above 1329, 1345 is the target, and if it breaks below 1249, then the target to the downside is 1212. But as you can see, we have a lot of support before we can get to that area. And again, we are under the 5 EMA. So what do I see as of right now? It can go in either direction. So if it breaks below 1263, we can very well come back and retest this 1259. And below 1259, we can come down to this 1249 area, 1250 area. So below that 1250 is our gap, is our trigger to the downside for the inside day. And if we break the 1249, 1244, 1240, 1236, those are going to be trouble places for us to the downside. Now to the upside, it needs to break above this 200 EMA. Just know that we're going to have trouble at 1289, again at 1293, and this ATR trailing stop at $13. So above $13, we know we're getting ready to have some trouble for the VIX, right? So VIX up, that means the SPY is going to go down. So the VIX gets above $13, the SPY is probably going to drop or decline. So let's go to the SPY just to see where we are, right? And as you can see, we had this nice little run up yesterday. The SPY was a really good trade yesterday to the upside. So we consolidated here. We're in this gathering spot. It's in this zone, right? And the support is around the 546.93, 96 area. Resistance is right here at the 547.59 area, right? So price is just trading in this area here. I call the no trade zone or the gathering spot, right? So we are right at the 5 EMA. So the 5 and the 20 is support, as well as this 546.96. All of that is like SPY is just resting on support, right? So that's strong support. If we should break this area, are we going to come back and retest the low of this candle, which is 546.61? That's why I have an alert set right here to let me know that SPY is below an area of support. Now, can we continue to the upside? We very well can. So that 547.61 is resistance, and the 548.10 is resistance. Now, because we had such a strong move on yesterday, we could very well either go sideways, trade sideways today, or we can sell off. Either way, SPY does what it does, right? So let's see how much it moves on a daily basis. $5.13. That's in either direction. So we can move up $5 or down $5, right? Based on the ATR. So if we should break this level of support down here at the 546.87 area, just know that the 50 EMA is right at 546.24, and we have the ATR trailing stop at 545.88. So that's going to hold the SPY up if it should decline, right? If it should break that 545.88, just know that we could very well come back down to, let's see, we could very well come back down to, I have 544.13 marked as a level of support, and again below the 544.13 I have 542.77. so those are support places I have for SPY to the downside if it should decline. And again, anything is possible, y'all. We'll come back to the SPY just to see where we are and do a little small recap, right? So we are looking at Tesla now, and Tesla is Tesla is Tesla. It closed at 187.44, and as you can see, we hit this 188.95 pre-market. We are under the 5 EMA, which is interesting, but the 20 EMA right now is our support. So we're right at support and right at resistance, right? So we could move in either direction. So yesterday, this was the gathering spot for Tesla, the 188.48 down to the 187.79. So today we're kind of trading not far from that area. I still have pre-market support at 186.54, and our resistance, it could be right here at this 187.06, which is right where the 5 EMA is, as you can see here. And the reason why I marked that is because we're so close from yesterday's gathering spot. We came down under the 5 EMA. This is actually our 4 o'clock candle. This is our 4 o'clock candle. So this is today's EMA. Today's gathering spot. Let me correct that. This is our 4 o'clock gathering spot here. We came down under that and found creating another gathering spot, which is at the 186.54 to the 187.07. So this is our zone here for Tesla as of now. Again, the 5 EMA is our resistance, the 20 EMA is our support. So what do we see for Tesla? Where are our trouble places? I always ask, where am I going to have trouble, right? So above to the upside, that 187.07 is trouble. 187.79, 188.48, 188.95. Those are going to be trouble places for Tesla. And as you can see, as yesterday showed us, that Tesla can do, it does what it does. It looks as if it's going to trade to the downside, and then we have this pop to the upside. So today should be an interesting day for Tesla. So I would definitely watch those areas: 187.07, 187.79, 188.48, 188.95. If we can break above that, Tesla could definitely run to the upside. So to the downside, 186.54 has been support for us pre-market, and we did come down to make a low of 186.21. So we could very well, if we break this 186.54, 186.21 is a support area, and then 185.63, 185.19 brings us closer to the 50 EMA at 184.82 and 184.12, which is really close to this ATR trailing stop, which is at the 183.94. So I would definitely watch those areas, looking at it on the 30-minute chart. And Tesla normally moves $7.35 per day, and if you look at it on this 1 hour chart, we see Tesla had this run up on yesterday. Now we're creating a gathering spot here. We're kind of trading in this zone. So are we going to come back to the downside? That's something to be mindful of, looking at it on this 1 hour chart. That 185.63 falls right in where where the 20 EMA, is on the 1 hour chart, and the 185.19 area. So Tesla, I would definitely watch that 185.60 area, 186.50 area. I would definitely watch that area. If Tesla lose support or break support there, we can continue to the downside. But it looks like it's holding well on this 20 EMA. So right now, again, the 5 EMA is the resistance. It looks like it's trying to break above that. So Tesla is doing what Tesla does. It wouldn't surprise me to see Tesla bounce to the upside today. Let me say that. So I would say trade carefully. We'll come back and look at Tesla. Let's go to AMD. AMD is moving in this gathering spot, as we can see here. Our pre-market support is right here at the 157.82, and the resistance is kind of like where it was yesterday, 158.23. So that 158.23 is strong resistance. It's right there at the 50 EMA, which is at the 158.26. So 158.23, 158.26 is strong resistance for AMD. And if we should break that, just know that 158.50 is another trouble place. And if it breaks the 158.50, 158.94 is another trouble place for AMD. So it's been trading in a gathering spot, so it could move in either direction. Let's see how much AMD normally moves on a daily basis. $6.19 on a daily basis. That means that it could move $6.19 in either direction, right? So it looks like it has a little bit of trouble to the upside. So we don't know how it's going to move. Allow the charts to, to tell the story, and you just learn to follow the story, right? It tells us, once we learn how to read the charts, it kind of gives us an idea of how it could go. And again, I always say, y'all, nothing is guaranteed in the market. Anything is possible. So with AMD to the downside, where are our trouble places, right? So if it breaks under this 157.72 area, just know that we have 157.60, 157.31, and this ATR trail and stop at 156.21. If we should break the 156.21, just know that 155.54 are going to be trouble places to the upside, to the downside. Now, to the upside, again, It needs to break above the 50 EMA and close above that. Just know that it's going to have trouble right there, you know, the 158.50. So AMD definitely will need to break above the 158.78 area in order to give a clear signal as to, you know, maybe it's trying to go back to the upside. So I'm going to set my alert at 158.71. It's a little bit above the 158.49 and the 158.25 from the 50 EMA in a previous resistance area that we have. So if I traded AMD today, I would always say y'all trade carefully and make sure you have confirmation as to why you're entering your trades, and if it goes against your why, get out. You can't be afraid to get out, right? So this is NVIDIA, and NVIDIA on this 30-minute chart, it looks like the 5 and the 50 has crossed, right? So the pre-market support was right here at 131.20, resistance at 131.81, but we did make a high here of, we tested yesterday, let's say we tested yesterday's resistance, which was support at 132.29. See, price came up, got rejected, and came back down. We're back in this zone here. So as of now, NVIDIA will need to definitely clear above this 132.29 area because we've tested it and we got rejected. So I'm going to set my alert to let me know that if NVIDIA gets above this the 130, let's see, if it gets above the 132.44, we could very well continue to the upside. And as of right now, let's see how much NVIDIA normally moves on a daily basis. It normally moves $10.26 on a daily basis. And as you can see, looking at it on a higher time frame, it looks like it's been trying to go up. We've been moving up, and now we're at a gathering spot. So are we going to cool off and come back down, or are we going to continue to the upside? Again, it follow the charts, allow the charts to lead. Again, on this 1 hour, we are above the 5 EMA. It looks like it wants to go to the upside or continue to the upside. Just know the trouble places are at the 132.89, the 132, let's see, 132.23, 132.89, 133.70. Those are going to be trouble places for us for NVIDIA, and I would always say trade carefully, right? So I'm going to look at, we had an inside day candle for today, and I believe it was AT&T. AT&T is an inside day candle, and if AT&T breaks above 1770, then the target to the upside is 1774, which puts us right at the 200 EMA. And to the downside, if it breaks 1749, 1749 is the target. How much does AT&T or T move on a daily basis? Let's see, 35 cents. So if you trade AT&T, just know that it is an inside day candle. It has been creating a gathering spot for us. Support is at 1761. Resistance is around 1767. So if we break that 1767 range, we could definitely come back and test the 1770. So if I traded AT&T or T today, I would definitely say trade carefully. So Take-Two Interactive is TTWO is an inside day candle. Let's say above 158.88 gives us a target of 159.29, which is right there, as you can see, y'all, at this 200 EMA. Now to the downside, if it breaks below 157.04, then the target to the downside is 156.09. How much does TTWO move on a daily basis? $3.33. And as you can see, we are coming off of a high, creating a gathering spot. Are we going to bounce here, or are we going to drop here? That's something to be mindful of. If we can get above this 5 EMA on the daily chart, we can go back up. But if we should break below the 155.76 area, 156.09 area, just know that that 50 EMA and the ATR trailing stop is really close at that 153.89 area. So if I traded TTWO, I would say be careful, trade carefully today. It is an inside day candle. UAL, United Airlines, is an inside day candle. So above $50.59 gives us a target of $51.11. And below 49.39 gives us a target of 48.48. And UAL normally moves $1.96 per day, and it too, what looks as if it was trading in a gathering spot here. So I would definitely watch the pre-market support at $50.14. It's really not moving pre-market. I would definitely watch the $50.17 and then the $50.41 because that was the gathering spot that it was creating. So it would need to break up or down and get confirmation, right? So Uber is also an inside day candle. Uber, if it breaks above $70.77, then $71.05 is the target. If it breaks below $69.83, then $69.40 is the target to the downside. And Uber normally moves, let's see, UBER is the ticker. It normally moves $2.23 per day. And let's see, do we have pre-market activity? We do. So as of now, Uber is trading here in this zone, $70.40 as support, $70.66 as resistance, and as of now it can move in either direction. So I always say trade carefully, right? So let's go back to the SPY just to see where we are. And the SPY is still trading in this gathering spot here. We kind of are still above the 5 EMA, but as you can see, y'all, price is coming back to that area. I'm going to try here. Price is coming back to this 547.33, so it really needs to clear above, you know, this 547.40 range, or break above this 547.61 range in order to give confirmation that it's possibly going to try to go to the upside. But as of right now, as you can see, we're just trading sideways. So if you trade the SPY today, trade carefully, right? Don't rush into the trade. Allow the trade to come to you. Sometimes it's best to just wait and see, you know, which direction, and make sure you understand the direction or the trend. What is the trend? I always ask, where is my trend? What is my trend today? So looking at Tesla one again, as a recap, Tesla is having, you know, finding resistance here at this 5 EMA. So I'm going to set my alert for Tesla above the 5 EMA on this 30-minute chart above 187.42. If we can break that and close above that and continue up, then, you know, we could very well make a run as yesterday. I don't rule Tesla out because, you know, just when you think it's not going to do something, that's when it shows you that it is. So yeah, y'all, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. When I record these, you know, this is what I see when I look at the market. And again, anything can change when the bell rings. I always say when the bell rings, it's go time, because anything is possible. This gives us a guided idea of what could happen. And overall, this is pre-market prep, right? So I am super, super excited. I hope that everyone have a very productive day, a very profitable day today, y'all. And you know, I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.